Arsenal preparing Barcola bid video is powered by Think Landscaping. They design, they plan, they transform. You understand? And they'll obviously turn your gardens, your compound, green spaces into the best ever thing that you've ever gone ahead obviously dream of in here onto the Rokani Media Football. They can maintain your outdoor spaces in there for you, as you see that man really trying to obviously shape up those green plantings in the compound. And they do have irrigation systems. You understand? They do landscape designing. They can install everything that will make your compound a dream to live with your eyes. And you can call them on +256 765 280 470 or WhatsApp them on +256 703 004 168. That is Think Landscaping in there for you. And welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. I love you all, and here onto our channel, I'm here to let you know that all is going to go all out as planned. I tell you, nothing will obviously forsake us to bring you the latest news and information about the favorite teams that you obviously go ahead and really support to the fullest. Now, we are soon hitting 29,400 subscribers. So do the needful and go into the lower right bottom corner, smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell. That will enable you to get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel. We are left with 50 subscribers to hit the milestone of 29,400. So please go ahead and obviously subscribe. Now, let's obviously bring you this particular story coming in through from one of the journalists from England known as Miguel Delaney. There for you. Miguel Delaney works for The Independent, right? And he's the chief football writer at The Independent, meaning that when he obviously puts out a story, he might be having a very clear-cut source about where he is getting it from. So this is what he has gone ahead to obviously tell us, that Arsenal are preparing an opening bid for PSG's winger Bradley Barcola. The Gunners are currently gathering information and finalizing details internally, with Mikel Arteta keen to strengthen his attack after last season. PSG would prefer to keep the French international, but Arsenal believe a deal could be possible for a fee between £70 million and £87 million as they continue to assess their summer options in there for you. So, Arsenal are preparing the bid for Bradley Barcola. Now, when I did that video of Barcola on this channel, there was a backlash from very many Arsenal fans, and genuinely, without hate, mention a left forward at Arsenal who is better than Barcola. Just go ahead and obviously mention one who is better than Barcola. I don't think that Arsenal has a left forward who is better than Barcola. That is it. Let's be realistic. You know, sometimes some people are driven by the passion and their ego, the hate. You understand? So, I've always given an example. It happened to you Arsenal fans, and you know it very well. You know, you wanted the club to bring in Victor Gyökeres, and when they first brought in Noni Madueke, you guys went ahead to obviously select Noni Madueke. You understand? But he is one of those players that has been a big contributor to the season that Arsenal had and won a Premier League and went ahead to obviously play in the Champions League final. That is it. And you won't obviously rubbish it out. You can't rubbish it away. That's the fact. So please, when they bring in Madueke, I told people that when you don't have Saka, who is obviously going to come in front obviously do the job? And what people forget, in the modern market, £50 million is now the bare minimum to get an average player. That is it. I'm not saying that Noni Madueke is a very good player, but he's an average player. And that is the price for an average player. And they need to eat that. If a chance is presented to them and they need a player like him, they had to go straight for him. Now, Barcola is a very good player, I tell you. And for what you think he's not, it's the work of Mikel Arteta to turn him into what you think he should become. You understand? And I see Tim Martinelli in here. There is no way you can compare Barcola to Martinelli. Martinelli is nowhere near the levels of Barcola. That is it. Trossard, Leandro. Barcola is better than Leandro Trossard. That is it. I tell you this. You understand? And if you thought that Barcola is not that kind of player, and men are giving a reason, he's second fiddle to Kvaratskhelia. Now, why is it that PSG want to keep him? Why is it that PSG have gone ahead to present a contract to him and Barcola doesn't want to sign it? Because they know he's a very influential player into that team of PSG. And walking around the world to get another Barcola, it might cost them a lot of money. Players they're talking about, Yan Diomane is going in for 100 million euros plus. Julian Alvarez, who can play as a left forward too, 150 plus million euros. That's what that team of Atletico Madrid is calling in for. You understand? I think the cheapest player that is on the market is Marcus Rashford for 40 million pounds. You understand? So, Barcola for me is a player that I think if Arsenal bring him in, he will be a game changer. That is it. And I do believe that Arsenal are planning a very huge rollout of players, all shake-up of players, and some will leave, especially the two players that play as left forwards for the club of Arsenal are going to be nowhere next season, I tell you. That's why you're hearing that yesterday, Morgan Rogers is going to be coming at Arsenal. You really heard that story. And you'll be asking yourself, why is it that Arsenal is going in for Morgan Rogers and Barcola? Because they are letting out two left forwards they've been having in Gabriel Martinelli and a player called Leandro Trossard. And they need to replace them with two. And those two are going to be Bradley Barcola and Morgan Rogers. Now, imagine an Arsenal having Barcola and Morgan Rogers as their left forwards next season. Isn't that an upgrade from what Arsenal is having? Unless otherwise, you are just biased about Bradley Barcola. That is it. But if at all you are real to yourself about this Barcola guy, if they bring him in and Morgan Rogers, I tell you, it will be a striking line that anyone will obviously be dreaming to have. That is it. That is it. So, look no further than hate. Don't be driven by your opinion that you have about someone. For me, I've always had opinions, and I've gone ahead to switch my opinions because I believe that I cannot be right all the time. Times will come when I have to be wrong, and I have to admit that I've been wrong. You understand? Because I can give you examples. I'm one of those who really believed in Gabriel Jesus. But I reached an extent and said, it's high time Arsenal let Gabriel Jesus leave their club because he can't obviously come up and obviously meet the levels that Arsenal are really calling in for. Because however good you are, because he's a very good player, but he's never available. That is it. So if you're not available always, then you cannot really tick that box of being a good player. However skilled you are, because he's really a very good skilled player, you know, he does lots of things on and off the ball, but for how long can you do them? So, I've gone ahead to obviously turn heel on very many opinions I've gone ahead to make. So, right now, as we speak, Arsenal are preparing a bid for Barcola. And that bid is estimated to be between, is it 60 or 70? Let me check here. 70 to 87, that is like 100 million euros. That's the bid that Arsenal is preparing to give PSG. Though PSG wants in 100 and something. I'm going to be doing that story to let you know how much PSG want for Barcola in there for you. But I think that's another level for Arsenal. If you don't want Barcola at your club, ask yourself, has your club gone ahead to win Champions League back-to-back? Now, you'll tell me, maybe no. But has Barcola been really very influential into the Champions League season, those 2 seasons of PSG? I'll tell you yes. PSG wouldn't have gone ahead, obviously, keep a player like Barcola if he was not meeting the standards and levels. You understand? Because he's at a certain level and he has gone ahead to set those standards so high. That's why they want to keep him, because they believe he can take them to the next level. Now, if I'm Arsenal, I get this deal done. Add on Morgan Rogers, left forward business closed, done and dusted, I tell you. So, Barcola to Arsenal, I 100% agree with the board of Arsenal. That is it. If you have to look at the Rafael Yaos, I cannot obviously get in Rafael Yao. Very exciting player, but I don't think that at where Arsenal is, they need a player like him. Barcola, his winning mentality is way up there. So we are waiting to see when that bid will be in. But it looks like very soon Arsenal will go ahead and really do the needful. And I told you before the summer transfer window that Andrea Bata is obviously gonna do a transfer window that many of you never thought he can do. I tell you, he can get in more 7 players for Arsenal this season. Because primarily, without letting anyone go, they need a right back, they need a central midfielder, they need a centre forward, they need a left forward. And for those, White will go, Nogard will go, Gabriel Jesus will go, Trossard will go. Now, after all those going and bringing in the replacements, there are those that you think you need in. 1, another left forward. Sweep out Martinelli. Get in maybe a Barcola or a Brandon Rogers, Morgan Rogers. Those will be 5 signings. And I tell you, we will be in for another shocker. That is it. Because they do like to bring in players like a Mosquera type of player to obviously come in through and really put in an exciting shift. But the story this morning is all about Barcola to Arsenal bid prepared by the club of Arsenal. By the way, I had forgotten about something. Barcola went ahead to score a very beautiful goal. By the way, do you remember that it was his first touch on the ball after he was brought on, and he scored the second goal for France? He's a lightning quick forward, I tell you. And I tell you, he's clinical. He has his other deficiencies that you can obviously come and really query him about or blame him about. But when I look at him, I see a very, very good player who can come in through and obviously put in a very huge shift. So, yesterday in the World Cup, Portugal 1-1 with a club known as Portugal drew 1-1 with DR Congo. Then we went into another exciting game of England. England came in through and obviously beat. England beat Croatia by 4-2. Hurricane with a brace, Marcus Rashford with another one, Jude Bellingham, Bukayo Saka with the assist. Ghana beat Panama by 1-0, and Colombia went ahead to beat Uzbekistan by 3-1 in there for you. So today, another African team comes into action. That is South Africa at 19 hours. They'll be playing Czech Republic. Then Switzerland comes in through to play Bosnia-Herzegovina in there for you. And we'll be having Canada taking on Qatar. And obviously Mexico will take on a team known as South Korea in there for you. So, match day 2 starts today at the World Cup. Then, tomorrow, Brazil will be back in action against Haiti. Scotland will be playing Morocco. Arsenal fans, put your eyes onto the Morocco game because I know you really want to see more of Bowadi. And indeed, you'll obviously enjoy the guy to the fullest. So guys, thank you very much for watching it through. Those are the facts I've gone ahead to drop in here for you, and continue to do the needful and really subscribe to this channel because we want to hit 30,000 subscribers. Barcola Bradley to the club of Arsenal. What are your genuine thoughts about this? Because you will need to obviously understand more about this deal and what Bradley Barcola brings on the field of play. Just continue to give him time. You know, there are players I've seen, and I've not gone ahead obviously like them, but indeed they've gone ahead obviously find themselves into my blood flowing. Oh, I had even forgotten about Christos Zolis. You understand? Now, Christos Zolis, I think he's one of those that Arsenal really looking up to, and we don't know exactly what the plan is. So Christos Zolis, Barcola, Morgan Rogers. I think one will obviously be coming in through at the club of Arsenal. So guys, thank you very much for checking through. That's what I had for you right about now. So do the needful and really keep it what we call the Rokani Media Football. We out. Good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. First video of the day. In the next 1 hour, I'm going to be dropping another one. And it will be very, very, very intriguing.